Hello, welcome to VSN Now, the first of its kind. We're going to be talking about the expansion draft today. We're going to be talking about, I brain farted so hard. Not just the expansion draft, but the expansion too, and everything to do with the VHL and the VHLM that is hot, hot, hot. VHL review. Joined with me today is my good cousin and bad cousin at the same time, Sir Rupert Barnes. Say hi, dude.
Good day, everybody.
Wow, it's a whole, I think, 0 people watching right now. So we're
No,
we're in for the
says
good
that, it
times.
says that there's two watching at the moment.
2
So,
watching. Wow. All right, that's I don't know. I guess my numbers are messed up, dude. I don't know.
we lost a viewer.
We lost a whole viewer.
We lost a viewer.
We're clinging on by the skin of our teeth, dude. All right.
All right, let's get right into the news.
No, let's get right into the now. All right. So, big news for the league, though. In all seriousness, VHLM is getting 2 new teams.
Exciting times.
Yeah, seems pretty good. What do you think of? Okay, I want to get this out of the way. What do you think of the logos?
Overall, I like the design of most of them. There's a few things that I would change about some of them, particularly Houston. Personally, I'm just not a fan of text on logos.
Yeah, but the
And I'm
Reapers
also
logo has it on there too. You know what I'm saying?
we'll get back to the
All right,
Reapers.
we'll get back to the
For now,
Reapers.
let's focus on
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah. Let's go talk about Houston.
Um, I like overall, I like the bull.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure if they were going for a beard on the bottom of it or not. Um, I'm a little confused on the flames and the lightning coming out of the
Okay,
eyes
real
too.
talk though. Why is there flame and lightning?
Yeah,
Why is
I
there?
I I just don't understand that
I
personally.
just don't get that, dude. Flame and lightning, dude. Just go with one or the other, or none at all. Honestly, like I don't know. I feel like maybe it should just be the bull. I don't even think that the text should be there on the top. Kind of weighs it down a little bit, makes it really busy. But
Yeah, but to be fair, these aren't on actual jerseys, so it's just a logo.
yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so
That's
be
true.
so being busy isn't necessarily a bad thing when it's just the logo.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What's your opinion?
Uh, honestly, like I kind of wish that there were kind of like mock jerseys. You know what I mean for the league. I feel like that would be
Hmm.
pretty cool, but we're not at that stage yet.
Hey,
I
if
would,
somebody wants to design them,
yeah, true that. Um, I will say though that I am a huge fan of the Reapers logo. I love this logo so much. This is so cool.
it's very clean.
Yeah, it is really clean. It's really clean. It's awesome. Just
The
you know what you're
the
getting
only
when you look
thing,
at the logo, right?
yes, for sure. The only thing I'm confused about is in the bottom left-hand side of the Reaper logo. There's this little, I don't know, it's almost like a tip that sticks off. I don't
Yeah.
I don't quite understand that. Like,
Uh, I don't know what that is
oh,
either. I never
oh,
saw
oh,
that.
sorry. I now realize that it's the bottom of his scythe that he's holding.
Okay, we're just stupid. Nice to know. Nice to
All
know.
right.
It's really
I'm now
nice to know.
seeing the logo for what it is. I can see the figure wearing the hood and how he's holding the scythe and it's going back over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like this logo now that I actually understand it.
Now that you now that you understand that it wasn't just a mix up. No, but
Yeah,
I like the colors on it too, honestly. Like the
yeah,
red and the blue.
yeah, the that navy and then the lighter blue
Yeah.
as the accent is really nice,
Mm,
and that yellow really pops.
it does. It really does. And now let's talk about the best logo. I'm
I
just
have
gonna
one
say
more.
it.
I have one more thing to say about
Whoa,
the Reapers.
one more thing? All right, let's go.
As I said about Houston, I normally don't like text on logos, but I think for this it works because of how dark overall the logo is. Having that white text on the bottom, I find it really adds to it rather than taking away.
Hmm.
So
All right, and
Yeah,
now
that's all I have to say about that.
we're gonna go over to the Moscow Menace. This is easily my favorite logo,
My personal favorite.
bar none. Like, it's not even
It's
close.
such a clean, crisp logo, and it is quite menacing. It fits the team name,
Dude,
and I like the design of the crown.
this crown is really nice, dude. I love the color too on the crown and the eyes, and the design of the beard is just, oh my goodness. I
It's
s-
so good. Sorry, go ahead.
no go no go ahead go ahead go ahead.
I might be a little biased because my own player is from Russia. Hey Victor, draft me. My name is Dmitry Volosenkov.
Oh my god, did you just plug yourself right now? Did
Um,
you just plug yourself? Are you
possibly.
kidding me?
So I
Oh
might be a little
my
biased towards
goodness.
this, but overall, it's clean. I like the beard and the crown and the yellow eyes. It just
I can't
it's
believe you
mint.
just plugged yourself to Victor right then and there. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's
Do you
go.
want to
Let's
talk
go.
about the relocations, Annie?
Uh, sure. I mean, like, Oslo moving to Minnesota now, and the Wolves are moving to Vancouver. That's pretty cool. It gives a little bit of a change up, and I know Beavis is really pushing for that Vancouver change. So
Yeah.
good on him for getting that, honestly. But now we have to talk about the real meat of the podcast today, obviously. Which we've talked about the logos of the teams, but now we have to really get into the expansion draft, right? Like, big.
hmm
This is probably the biggest part of the actual draft itself, is how it's going to play out. So, according to the commissioner, the expansion draft is going to take place prior to the entry draft for season 65, and each team can protect 7 players, which can be either skaters, goalies, and their GM player, as well as all players are eligible to play in season 65 and are eligible to be drafted if they're left unprotected. And picks can't be selected except for if a team cannot or does not put forth one active player who is currently under the contract for season 65, or a third round pick in any of the upcoming 3 drafts is attached to any inactive the expansion team will select. Kind of wordy on that last one there, honestly.
A little bit, yeah, but
Super wordy. All in all, I feel like the 7 skaters and the goalie is pretty fair.
I think that's a reasonable number.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Because if you go to 6, I can see a lot of key pieces from certain teams being moved for no reason. But at 8,
Yeah.
it feels like the expansion teams won't be able to get really anything back, and they're just gonna be left in a state of mediocrity. So I feel like 7 is a pretty reasonable amount for them.
At 7, you get to protect your core.
Yeah.
So you could protect your top goalie, and then maybe like 4 forwards and 3 defensemen, or maybe 2 defensemen, and so on. But yeah, I think it's a reasonable number. So overall, it allows teams to still stay competitive, while also making it so that the expansion teams aren't just downright terrible off the get-go.
Exactly. Yeah. So
they at least actually have a chance of becoming a contender, or maybe a hopeful.
exactly. And the season 65 entry draft for the VHL with Moscow, they're going to be between 4th and 9th as determined by a random lottery. So it's it's kind of a repercussion. If Moscow gets awarded the 9th slot, then the wildcard team wins the draft lot, but the wildcard team wins the draft lottery. Moscow will get 5th overall in the first round, and then 4th in each round. But beyond that, I don't know how much I like putting the fate of this franchise in the hands of a random lottery. But
it's only the first round, right? So in every other round, they get the 4th pick, which still is
no,
decent.
it's in each round, dude. Moscow was selected between 4 and 9 in each round of the draft. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
so if you get
oh,
ninth, you're just last.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know how
I don't
much
know
I
how I
like
feel about
that.
that.
I
I don't
feel
know
like
how I
if
feel
you were
about
gonna
that
make it
either.
random, it should be between like fourth and seventh. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 and
Yeah,
9 is a huge gap.
because then you'd essentially be picking as if you won the championship.
Yeah,
And you're obviously not a championship team.
no, you're not going to be a championship team as Moscow. That's just how it is. It sucks, but
So
that's just the reality.
not off the get-go at
Oh,
least.
not off the get-go, no. I mean, if you draft this guy that I'm talking to right here, maybe, but I also really think for the VHLN though, the snake, the way that they do the picking with the snake, with team one and team
Yes.
two and team two and team one. For those of you that
Hmm.
don't know, the VHLM, the way that they pick is with a snake draft sort of thing. So team one picks first, and like in the first round, team one will pick first, and team two will pick second. And then in the second round, team two will pick first, and team one will pick second. And it keeps alternating like that. So it goes 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2 until you're done. But they only get 3 selections, so they can only pick 3 times. And each team may protect 5 assets, players, and or draft picks in the next 2 dispersal of drafts, so Season 65 and Season 66, and can only lose 1 asset to the expansion draft. So an asset is, well, it's each team, right? So only one team can lose an asset. Is that how I'm reading this right? I'm saying this right?
Uh, yeah. Each team can only lose one asset.
Yeah. So you can only take one player, or like a team can only lose one player or one pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not like one team is going to get picked on a lot. Yeah, that makes
No.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty fair, considering how like there's only 6 picks, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, there's only going to
Um,
be 6, I think. If there's 3 rounds, and yeah, if there's 3, yeah, it's going to be 6. But what do you think about the extra protection that each team may protect 2 first-round picks without counting against the protection limit? What do you think about that one?
I think that's fair because first round picks, generally those are like the top players. So
Mm-hmm.
you're probably looking at 100 plus TPE, or I'm not really sure entirely because I'm quite new to the league, so I haven't gone through the draft experience before. But generally, those will be players that you see who are very active and are growing fast, or something along the lines of that.
Well, these guys will
So
be, these guys are the ones that are going to be capped out, right, by the time
yeah,
the
exactly.
VHL expansion draft comes along. So,
So I mean, protecting those players, that's basically the future of the franchise. Um, so not being able to just take a first round pick,
mm-hmm.
because I mean a first round pick is quite valuable, depending on where you go. Um, but so I can understand not having to take a loss
Yeah,
on protecting those picks.
yeah. Um, dispersal draft. For season 65, the 2 teams will select from the 7th and 8th slot respectively in each round. Whichever team was selected first in the expansion draft, so whatever team gets to pick first when it comes to taking their assets from other teams, uh, will get the shorter end of the stick for the dispersal draft, and the team that gets to pick second in the expansion draft will get the higher end of the stick. So basically what happens is if you're team 1 in the expansion draft, then you'll be team 2 in the dispersal draft, and vice versa. So that seems pretty fair to me, actually. I actually really like that they added that into it, just so that,
Yeah,
one team doesn't... It's not random twice over. It's one person gets
yeah.
it, and then the other person gets some compensation. So,
I think that's the most fair way to do it, because if you win the expansion draft and you basically just get to pick the best player who's available, then you don't necessarily need as good picks. Do you know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you need like the other team would need to build uh, build build up,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Whereas the other team would more like have a better base
Yeah.
with a solid player.
But I mean, if you want to talk about potential people going, Nathan McKinnon might be, but it's kind of hard because
But
his rights are coming away soon. So
yeah, so it's hard to say.
it's hard to say if Nathan McKinnon's gonna get picked up. He's really good. He's easily one of the best players to get drafted in the expansion draft. But Matthew Kai as well, 132 TPE already.
Yeah.
As of today, anyway. It might not be when the draft comes up, but he's an active earner. He gets his player each week, and he's pretty active. So he would be pretty safe to go first, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But like,
there's quite a few good unprotected players, like 100 plus. There's multiple, so I mean, you can really if you pick somebody who's active, then you can really build on that.
Oh yeah, of course, and I mean,
they can definitely grow for you.
Mm-hmm. But I just as an expansion team, are you gonna look to try to maybe use those free agents as well as you can and make that playoff push, or are you gonna try and take the rebuilding thing? If you're second in the expansion draft, maybe you think, oh, well, maybe I should take all the picks because I'm higher up in the actual season 65 draft. You know what I'm saying? So, like, because you won't get the better players to make your team as good as it can be already, maybe it might be a strategy for a team to say, oh, listen, maybe we should go for a rebuilding team right off the get-go, whereas someone or a team like let's say Philadelphia gets to pick first with their players, their assets, the goalies, whatever. And because there are these really good players out ready to be taken, right? Like, even I know I will keep saying that, Nathan McKinnon is one of them. His rights are gone, so it might not make sense to take him. But if you're going to go play for a playoff push, you could probably squeeze in a few free agent signings in there and then just get ready to go for maybe a playoff push and go deep. I know Halifax did when they were first added to the league. They just went in and they went in strong, and they have one of the best records for a team right now. So
I guess it depends on what route each GM wants to take their team. Like, if they want to win now, then yes, draft the best players you can and don't really worry about if they walk or not.
yeah.
But if you want to go for more of like a long-term game, then maybe taking draft picks and take someone who's a little lower in TPE but is active would also be
I think
a
that was
valuable asset.
because I mean, like, the highest.
It's entirely up to the GMs on what direction they want to go.
I think with this, you can protect 2 first-round picks. I feel like 2 was too much. I think it should have only been 1, honestly, because.
No, but when you look at it from a perspective of, say, Saskatoon or Yukon, they're in the bottom 2 seeds.
Well, Oslo, for example, has 5 first-round picks, and they can protect all of them. You know what I mean?
Yes, but only 2 of them are free.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it should have just, like, the amount of free should have been brought down to 1. Like, I can understand, like, 2 to me feels like too many. Just because.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's, would you rather protect a pick or would you rather protect like a prospect kind of thing? So I think the 2 is fair because it gives teams like an adequate chance to protect the things that they need
it would be
to.
fair. Yeah, I can see that. But we're going up to the 20-minute mark. I feel like that's going to be all for today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. VSN Now will probably be weekly. Well, it is going to be weekly, but I don't know if it's going to be every Saturday or not. We'll do it when we can, because I'm a busy college student, and I don't have time all the time. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And do you have any closing remarks that you want to say?
Not overly. Thanks everybody who tuned in or is listening in later on. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next week.
All right, everybody. Have a good day and take care. Also, it's my birthday. Haha, shameless plug.